Live from the IRC television studio on the SUNY Oneonta campus, this is Oneonta News Now. I am Barbara Prempe.
And I'm Joanna Weidenhammer.
Before we start the news, meteorologist Matthew Miles joins us with a look at the Oneonta weather cam.
Thanks, Barbara. Well, we've had a warm-up the last couple days.
I'll let you know how much longer that's going to last after the break. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Matthew. Coming up next, we have your campus and local news. Stay tuned to Oneonta News Now.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
In local news, SUNY Oneonta has landed a spot on the U.S. News and World Report's Best College list for the 4th year in a row. In the Best Regional Universities in the North category, Oneonta claims the 48th spot on the list among all universities in the Northeast and ranks number 13 for public institutions in the region. According to the report, SUNY Oneonta's president Nancy Klinuski commends the college achievement, saying, quote, "We are thrilled to be recognized once again as one of the top public schools in our region. Our reputation for academic quality and overall value is rooted in the commitment and pride we all share in helping students succeed," unquote.
Margaret Lee Shetterly, author of the story of the African American women who helped win the space race, will give the 2017 Mills Distinguished Lecture at 7 p.m. September 25th in the Alumni Fieldhouse. The lecture is free and open to the public, and tickets can be reserved at the Hunt Union. The book, which is SUNY Oneonta's 2017-2018 Common Read Selection, tracks the careers of 3 African American female mathematicians who worked behind the scenes at NASA and its predecessor, the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, doing complex mathematical calculations. As computer improved, these women became computer programmers and engineers, while the space program moved forward toward human flight in the early 1960s. Hidden Figures was the basis for the Oscar-nominated film of the same name. SUNY Oneonta's Common Read advances diversity by encouraging students to examine and better understand topics such as equity, inclusion, and personal history throughout many lenses. It aims to further infuse cultural literacy into our academic program by asking all incoming freshmen to read a diversity-related book, which then is discussed in fall courses across several disciplines.
Harvard College welcomed students back to campus with an email that took students by surprise. The Office of Residential Life and Housing sent an email on the first day of classes stating, quote, "Welcome back to campus. Please note that Harvard has a 4-year residency requirement," unquote. According to the college, the school has allowed some seniors to live off campus to guarantee housing for new students. Due to the college's new and refurbished apartment building, they will have enough room to house all students for 4 years. Many students unaware of these housing requirements were caught off guard by the email. Junior class president Hannah Chadith plans to take a signed petition allowing existing students the option to live off campus to the Vice President of Students Affairs with a group of student representatives this week.
On September 15th in Sydney Center, community members gathered to celebrate their agrarian history with the 8th annual Sydney Center Tractor Parade. Last year, approximately 145 vehicles, a combination of tractors, classic cars, and ATVs motored through the hamlet. According to Jerry Mott, a parade committee member, Mott said the committee expected the same amount, if not more. She said it grows a little every year and, quote, "We've turned it into a community celebration of farming and dairy heritage in this area. People love to hear and see these big machines moving. There are people who are plowing who come for the parade and then go home to plow," unquote. The parade began at noon and registration for vehicles was from 9 to 11:45 a.m. Every year, the committee asks a former dairy or agricultural farmer in the area to be the Grand Marshal, explained Mott. The committee has selected retired dairy farmer Ernie Bartz to lead the parade on his tractor on Saturday. People bring all different types of equipment. There's always something out of the ordinary, Lynn Roof, another committee member, said.
Thanks, Joanna. We have your local entertainment news when we come back. Stay tuned to Oneonta News Now.
you don't fix them, sparks from dragging tow chains could cause a wildfire, and that could be scary.
Bye, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We are back with your local entertainment news update with Danielle Kaufman. What's going on this week on campus, Danielle?
There's a lot going on in Oneonta this week, so let's take a closer look. This Friday, September 22nd, kicks off Family Weekend. Check-in will begin at the Hub in Hunt Union, starting at 2 p.m. and ending at 8 p.m. This weekend only, the Red Dragon Outfitters will be open extended hours from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. for SUNY Oneonta students and their families. On Friday, this will give ample time for families to stock up on the latest Oneonta fashion and accessories. For SUNY Oneonta students and their families, the Feud game show will take place on Friday, September 22nd at 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. in the Hunt Union. For this special event, a survey was taken to find out the most common answers for certain questions that will be asked for the game show. Teams of different families will compete for a $50 restaurant gift card. But don't worry, every round there will be a winner and many families will receive a gift card. SUNY Oneonta women's soccer will be versing SUNY Cortland this Friday, September 22nd at 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Come on out to show your Red Dragon support at the Red Dragons field this Friday and to see which Red Dragon women's soccer team will pull out a win. This Friday, the movie Despicable Me 3 will be playing in the Red Dragon Theater, located in Hunt Union, from 9 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. Tickets are available 30 minutes prior to the showing of the movie at the Hunt Union Information Desk. They are free with a SUNY Oneonta ID and $3 for all others. Come out to watch the character Gru meet his more charming and successful twin, Drew, who wants to work together to complete one last criminal mission. The women's field hockey SUNY, how do you say that again? Okay. The women's field hockey SUNY-AC game is this Friday, September 22nd at 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. The game will be located at the Red Dragons field. Come to show your support for the Red Dragons as they verse SUNY Geneseo.
Thanks, Danielle. It will definitely be an exciting weekend. We have more news coming up, so stay tuned to ONN.
You can prevent wildfires.
You've got pre-diabetes, but with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Cops have arrested 33-year-old environmental activist Courtney Fallon with criminal mischief for dumping paint on Financial District Charging Bull statue. According to police, the blue paint was noticed on the bull's head around 7:30 a.m. on Thursday morning. Fallon also draped a ribbon over the Fearless Girl statue in front of the bull reading, "Draw the blue line." Shortly after, police had the bull cleaned up at 9 a.m. The activist from Brooklyn admitted to the crime, stating, quote, "It's a comment on the United States' potential withdrawal from the Paris Accord," unquote. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio responded to the act by saying, "You don't deface property and you don't destroy property." Fallon's arraignment is pending.
8 nursing home patients in Hollywood, Florida have died after reported air conditioning malfunction in the wake of Hurricane Irma. The deaths were reported 3 days after Irma made landfall in the Florida Keys and left millions of people without power. As of September 14th, nearly 7 million people are still without power in the southeast. A majority in Florida, including the lower Keys, and 69 people have been killed. At least 38 across the Caribbean and 31 reported in Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina. 90% of homes in the lower Florida Keys have been damaged or destroyed from the impact of the hurricane. And about 2,000 National Guard members are currently in the Keys to help distribute food and water. CBS News correspondent Elaine Quijano reported that power, running water, and communication have been virtually non-existent since Sunday. And along with the sweltering heat and humidity, the recovery process has been made much more difficult.
Apple revealed this new lineup of iPhones on Tuesday. The multi-billion-dollar technology company has officially unveiled its iPhone 8, iPhone X Plus, and iPhone X, which is pronounced iPhone 10 rather than iPhone X. The three new phones include new features such as facial recognition, wireless charging, and more advanced cameras. The new facial recognition feature has raised many questions and concerns about users' safety and privacy, including Apple selling the data to the third parties or giving up to law enforcement. Apple has assured consumers that their data is safe, saying that their data is stored only on the phone and cannot be extracted from the device.
On Tuesday, September 5th, President Donald Trump ordered the end of the Obama-era program DACA, the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, and gave Congress 6 months to pass a replacement. Since the announcement, Mr. Trump has received mixed backlash and support. Protests broke out in front of the White House, Justice Department, and in cities across the country, while former President Barack Obama called Trump's decision, quote, wrong, self-defeating, and cruel, unquote. Conservatives praised Mr. Trump's order, even though some were frustrated that he took so long to make it. Hours after this announcement, however, President Trump seemed to contradict his earlier statement by calling on Congress to, quote, legalize DACA, unquote, something his own administration had earlier declined to do. Further adding to the confusion, the president published a series of tweets Thursday morning denying an agreement to finalize protections for the 800,000 undocumented dreamers, after Senate and House minority leaders Charles Schumer and Nancy Pelosi announced that a preliminary deal had been made.
The New York City Police Department is currently investigating after a more than a century-old statue of Christopher Columbus was vandalized overnight on September 11th. The pedestal of the statue read, "Hate will not be tolerated," and hashtag "Something is coming" in white spray paint. And the figure's hands were also painted red. The statue has recently become a topic of controversy, with many critics saying the statue is a symbol of genocide and calling for its removal, while others claim it is a symbol of heritage and deserves to be celebrated. The vandalism comes not long after the removal of a dozen of Confederate monuments across the country and the Charlottesville white supremacist protests against the removals. Following the removals of such statues nationwide, New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio has commissioned a review of the city's iconography for possible removal, saying, quote, the commission may decide that some images, perhaps including those of Columbus, be retrofitted with plaques that explain issues surrounding them rather than be taken down, unquote.
Thanks, Barbara. When we come back, Matthew Miles will take a look at our 5-day weather forecast. Stay with us.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Welcome back to Oneonta News Now. Let's find out what the weather has in store for us this week with our meteorologist, Matthew Miles.
Thanks, Barbara. Well, it's been, a nice couple of days. Good time to come back to Oneonta with all this warm temperature. And as we look today, we have a high of about 76 degrees, which, it's September. That's really not supposed to happen. But if you think about it, it's still summertime, so there's still chances for those warm temperatures to occur. We have a pressure system it's a high pressure system that allows for this clearing, along with 6 to 8 mile per hour winds. So you get that nice cool breeze integrated today, even though it was very humid at times. Into tonight, we got 59 degrees as a low with partly cloudy to cloudy conditions at times. You're going to see some fog build up as you get your warm air and cold air collisions going on with your wind speed still at 6 to 9 miles per hour. For tomorrow, we have a high of about 76, so we're looking at about the same temperature again. Very sunny day thanks to our high pressure system, and our wind speeds at about 10 miles per hour. So we'll get a bit more of a breeze today. Good day or tomorrow to go out. Enjoy that weather because these hurricanes are sort of allowing that good, nice, warm temperature to come into place. And if we look, Albany's at 79, Oneonta's at 76, Binghamton's at 80, but then if you go over to Buffalo, it's about 78. So you're starting to see the divide of cooler temperature, even though 78 is not that cool, versus your 80, 81 degree temperature, which is sort of showing the frontal system pushing through. The hurricanes, they push warm temperature or warm air into the atmosphere, which allows for these warmer temperatures to occur. In terms of tomorrow night, we're looking at 56 degrees, partly cloudy with a couple of isolated showers at times, and areas of fog, which is a big thing with these warmer days and cooler nights. But we have a nice calm wind speed of about 3 miles per hour, so nice sleeping night for all those that are trying to catch up on all that partying during rush week. This is your 5-day outlook. Wednesday, 77, Thursday, 80, Friday, 80, Saturday, 84, and Sunday, 84. All nice and sunny. You gotta enjoy that weather while it's good because next week it's looking colder around 60. So that's all I have for this week. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Matthew. Many people have been curious at the future of the space program since the Space Shuttle program ended in 2011. There, of course, has been much anticipation regarding humans traveling to Mars. A 6-person crew hired and assigned by NASA has been kept in a Mars-like habitat in a Hawaiian volcano since January. The goal was to study the psychological effects of a long-term space mission on human astronauts. NASA hopes to send humans to Mars within the next 20 years. This study was the 5th step in a 6-step study to observe humans in extremely isolated situations, in conditions most similar to those on Mars. This step was deemed successful and is a positive step towards human exploration of Mars.
Leo Kellner, a 98-year-old from Nebraska, has found a sweet, sweet way of lifting the spirits of those in need, those who are less fortunate than he. He was poor and hungry during the Depression, but during those difficult times, his mother worked magic with flour and eggs, and Leo learned to bake. With much time on his hands now after the passing of his wife of 72 years, Leo bakes all varieties of cakes and pies and passes them out daily to community organizations, helping to feed the poor. The secret ingredient, he always adds, is a healthy helping of love. When asked to what he contributes, the energy and sharp mind still going strong in his life, he replies, quote, giving to everyone, placing nobody above me, placing nobody below me, liking everyone, and never holding a grudge, unquote. We can all learn from Leo.
Tropical Storm Maria has now taken over the headlines as a major storm in the Atlantic. People are rightly concerned that this storm will continue to devastate the areas surrounding the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico, after both Hurricane Irma and Hurricane Harvey made devastating landfall this past month. Although it is only classified as Category 1, it is still developing. Advisories and warnings for the Atlantic Ocean islands have already been issued. Hurricane Maria is expected to dump up to a foot of rain on the island and is believed to hit the Leeward Islands especially hard. Some sources are predicting that Maria could develop and hold major hurricane status. At this time, it is unclear if the storm will reach the United States.
For the 4th time this year, the city of London, England experienced an attack on its city and people. On Friday, September 15th, the Parsons Green subway station experienced a fiery explosion, leaving dozens of people injured. The attack is said to be from a bomb placed in a weight bucket inside a shopping bag. Reports also include that there were suspicious wires and a towel hanging out of the package. The bomb contained the same material used most recently in the attacks on Paris, France in 2015. Usually, this material is highly unstable and powerful powerful. Chip Chapman, former head of counterterrorism at the Ministry of Defense, believes that, quote, the device didn't function properly, allowing for the blast to be less severe than it could have been, unquote. As of now, there have been no fatalities or life-threatening injuries. More details to come as they are released.
Thanks, Joanna. Stay tuned to ONN for your weekly sports update with Austin Teeterbaum.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to Oneonta News Now. Austin, what's going on in sports this week?
When it comes to sports, so let's get right to it. Let's start off with some baseball. In MLB news, for the first time since 2001, the Houston Astros are division champions. The Astros clinched the AL West with their win over the Mariners on Sunday. Houston has been in sole possession of first place in the AL West since April 14th, only 11 games in their season, and their league grew so big that a division title was a foregone conclusion. The division title is the first for the Astros since 2001, when they were in the NL Central. The club moved to the AL West for the 2013 season, which evened up the two leagues at 15 apiece. The Astros have gone to their postseason 3 times since 2001, all as wildcard teams. The Astros are, of course, one of 8 teams that have never won the World Series, joining the Brewers, Mariners, Nationals, Padres, Rangers, Rays, and Rockies. The Mariners and Nationals have never even won a pennant. The 2005 loss to the White Sox is the only time the Astros have played in the Fall Classic. Maybe we might see some history this postseason. Now, on some NFL news. Panthers tight end Greg Olsen expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks, already in need of help to spruce up their offense. The Carolina Panthers sustained a massive blow on Sunday. Tight end Greg Olsen told reporters that he broke his foot in the first half of Sunday's 9-3 win over the Buffalo Bills in Carolina. Originally expected to return to the game, Olsen was carried back onto the field to start the second half in a walking boot and crutches, in an ominous sign that foreshadowed the worst-case scenario. Olsen said, quote, "I broke my foot. It's tough. It sucks," unquote. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reported Olsen is expected to miss about 6 to 8 games, and he could be placed on the injured reserve. It's not believed to be a season-ending injury. Now let's move on to the real sports news. The Oneonta Red Dragon news in tennis, women's tennis, improved to 4-0 with the win over Oswego. The SUNY Oneonta's women's tennis team has been dominant this season. They remain undefeated after beating Oswego Lakers 8-1. The 1 point Oswego scored was the first individual match the Red Dragons women's team have dropped thus far in fall 2017 campaign. This 4-match winning streak has been done with 3 freshmen in the starting lineup and only 1 senior making it even more impressive. Command 3-0 lead led up for the Red Dragons as they went on to win 5 of the 6 single matches contested. Singles issues were 1-4. All were complete shutouts as the Red Dragons women's in those spots all won their matches without so much dropping a game. Next up for the Red Dragons is visiting to defending conference champs SUNY Geneseo on Thursday, September 21st, beginning at 3:30 p.m. This will be a major test for the Red Dragons, who are all looking to make a dent in the Geneseo tennis machine. Men's cross country wins the Airfield Invitational. For the 3rd straight week, the SUNY Oneonta men's cross country team has come out on top, winning the Airfield Invitational out in Florent Park in the town of Oneonta. Junior Devin Eckerly led the Red Dragons with a 2nd place finish overall for the 6K course. The remaining 6 scorers runners all finished on the top 12, including places 9 to 12 to score 34. Points narrowly ahead of SUNY Delhi, who scored 36. Oneonta's next competition is not until Saturday, September 30th, when they will travel to Rochester area to complete a Mike Woods Invitational, hosted by Geneseo at Lensworth State Park. And that's it for your weekly sports update on Oneonta News Now.
Thanks, Austin. Join us again next time for your up-to-date news, sports, weather, and more. I'm Joanna Weidenhammer.
And I'm Barbara Prempe. This is Oneonta News Now. Have a good night.